Hi guys, welcome to Mailbox Monday and stacking the shelves for what will be December 30th. I hope you all had a great Christmas and got some great books. I got quite a few books, so that's why I'm doing a Mailbox Monday this year, and I'm doing this at my computer again. So hopefully it turns out okay. There's not too much backlight. Alright, I did get one book for review this week, and that is The Impossible Knife of Memory by Laurie Halse Anderson. This comes out beginning of January. I believe it's January 7th. I have read a couple books by Laurie Halse Anderson. Winter Girls is the most recent one, which is about two girls who suffer from eating disorders. She always writes books that are about very, current issues and kind of controversial issues. So this book is about a girl who lives with a dad who's suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. He came back from a war, and I believe it was Afghanistan, fighting in Afghanistan, and he's having a really hard time dealing with it. And so is she. So that's what this is about. Hopefully it's a really good book. I don't read a ton of contemporary fiction, but I do make an exception for certain authors, and Laurie Halse Anderson is one of those. I also pretty much read everything that A.S. King releases or John Green. So that's that. Now I'll start going through the books I got for Christmas. The first book I got is Hellbent by Devin Monk. This is the first book in a Broken Magic series. And it kind of follows Shame and Tarek, and they were in the other urban fantasy series she writes that I'm totally blanking on. Allie Beckstrom. So Allie Beckstrom was the main character in that series. Shane and Tarek are two absolutely intriguing characters that had a lot of unresolved issues after the Allie Beckstrom series ended. So this is continuing that story, and I'm very excited to read it. I love those characters, and I really, really am just excited to see what happens with them. The next book I got for Christmas is Briar Rose by Jana Oliver. She's an English writer, and this is actually in UK version of the book. My husband ordered it online. He had trouble finding it in the US, so I don't know if it's not released in the US yet or what. Anyways, Jana Oliver wrote the Demon Trapper series. I love her writing style. This is a fairy tale retelling called Briar Rose, and of course it's about Sleeping Beauty. So I'm excited to read that. My cat's helping me. Sorry, I'm bending over and dropping books on the floor, which probably doesn't look very good on the video. The other one I got for Christmas is Fortunately the Milk by Neil Gaiman. This is a children's middle grade type read with lots of great pictures in it. Y'all know I'm a huge Neil Gaiman fan, so I will be reading this probably today or tomorrow because I can. The next one I got for Christmas is Curtsies and Conspiracies by Gail Carriger. Gail Carriger has written this boarding school series. This is the second book in that series. She also wrote, I don't know why I'm having so much trouble today. I kind of have a flu thing going on, and I've been having trouble just remembering stuff. She also writes an adult series of 5 books, the Parasol Protectorate series, which is very funny and a very good adult, steampunk. It's got kind of an urban fantasy flair to it, but it's got steampunk, werewolves, vampires, all that. This is her young adult series. Again, incredibly funny. I just love this series, and it features a girl who's at boarding school, but it's kind of a crazy boarding school because she's spying there, and she always ends up in these crazy situations, and there's werewolves, and it's fun because it actually takes place when the characters from the Parasol Protectorate are young. So some of the characters in the adult Parasol Protectorate series are kids in this book. So, yeah, pretty fun. Okay. The next one I got is Sorrow's Knot by Erin Bow. I actually don't know a ton about this book except that it's a fantasy. I read Plain Kate, which is the other book that Erin Bow wrote, and I loved it. It was one of my favorite books of last year, the year before. So when I saw she was coming out with a new book, I just really wanted it, and I know it's about magic, and that's pretty much all I know. And my cat is rolling on my books down there because she's awesome like that. Okay, the Next book I got, which I already read and I was actually just writing a review for, is The Ghost Prison by Joseph Delaney. Joseph Delaney writes the Last Apprentice series, which I love. They're just getting ready next year. The last book of that comes out in the U.S. He is another UK writer. This book is a very tiny little book with very big print and some wonderful pictures. It takes place in the same world as The Last Apprentice, but features a boy from an orphanage named Billy who has to go be a guard at this ghostly prison. And I read it. It's actually a pretty good little read. It's super creepy, but kind of funny all at the same time if you have a really dark sense of humor. So, anyways, really good book. This is probably the next book I am most excited to read after the Neil Gaiman one. This is the next book in the Stuff of... Whoa, almost dropped it. In the Stuff of Legend graphic novel series. It's kind of heavy. I didn't realize how heavy it was. This series is done by Mike Ratch and Brian Smith and illustrated by Charles Paul Wilson III. It is kind of like Toy Story, but a lot darker, and I just love it. It is a wonderful graphic novel series. The illustrations are fantastic. Everything is done in sepia tones, and it's just a great story. It's about a boy, and he gets kidnapped by the boogeyman, and his toys go into the dark to save him. And the dark is kind of another world run by the boogeyman, and they have all these crazy adventures. This is the 4th installment in that series, and it has been just fantastic. I highly recommend this if you like graphic novels at all. This whole series is just spectacular. I wouldn't necessarily read it with little kids, but middle grade and older should be fine. It does get kind of scary. So there's nothing like bad in here, but it does get scary. I mean, there's a boogeyman, and they're in the dark, and there's fights, and stuff happens. So I'm excited to read that. And then the final book I got for Christmas is Oko. This is The Cycle of Water by Hub. And I believe there are 4... Like, there's a cycle of water, cycle of earth, cycle of fire, something like that, in this graphic novel series. It is another fantasy graphic novel series. It is for mature audiences only. It says right on the back, this book contains adult content, graphic violence, and nudity. So not for young readers. Anyways, it's got really excellent illustrations. I don't know a ton about the story. I know it's about, like, a Ronin, and it's set in kind of an Asian backdrop type setting. I've heard really good things about it, so I'm excited to read that as well. And that is what I got this week. And it's kind of a lot, but it was Christmas. So, you know, I guess I get to get a lot of books this week because it's Christmas. Anyways, next week I'll have some more review books. I did do... Amazon Vine is having their leftovers list, and I did grab a couple things off of that. So there'll be a couple more next week. Again, as I said, I hope everybody has a great Christmas, and I'm sorry, I keep looking at my cat. She's just, like, rolling on my books. I don't understand why. Here, let me grab her real quick. Come here, come visit everybody. This is Saris. She's missing a leg, as you can see. We adopted her. She had lost a leg. Anyways, apparently she's really into my books tonight. Yeah, are you really into them? She's a funny girl. Alright, well, I hope you guys are all having a great week, and you got some great books for Christmas, and that you have a happy New Year's. And I will talk to you next Monday. Bye.